and welcome to day 7. Congrats on making it through your first week of your 30-day Pilates challenge. Today's workout is going to be some nice restorative movement. Let's go ahead and get started. I want us to start standing at the back of our mat. Feet are in line with your hips, and we're going to come into a standing squat here. I want you to sit your hips back, reach your arms up by your ears, and then come back up to standing. Just flow there. Reach the hips back and come back up. As you're moving, I'm really sitting back into my heels here. At the top, I'm squeezing my glutes as I push my hips forward. Already start to bring awareness to your core. Feeling that range of motion here through the upper body. Let's go for 4. Sit for 3. 2. Sit your hips back and hold. Just the upper body flows back and reaches up. Keeping that weight into your heels. Keep pulling in from the abdominals here. On this next one, arms reach up, little pulses down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way to standing. Let's just activate our core a little more with some standing marching. You're gonna float the right leg up to tabletop and lower down. Just gently moving side to side. Before we go into any deep static stretching where we're holding the movements, I want us to just find some mobility through our joints, some warming up of the muscles, so that we can end today's practice in those static stretches and long holds. Good. Go ahead and bring your feet about hip distance apart. Arms reach up to the ceiling, soft bend in the knees here. Roll all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. Keep the knees bent at the bottom. I want you to just shake your head yes, and shake your head no. Find stillness. You're gonna bend the knees deeper into that stretch and straighten up just till you'll get barely to that top. Bend the knees. Straighten up as much as you can while keeping that soft bend at the top. 2 more. Last one. Soft bend in the knees. Engage your core. Start to roll your spine back up, dropping the tailbone down. At the top, inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, a little back bend. Cactus your arms. Reach your arms back up. Dive forward, round through your back. Roll yourself down. At the bottom, 3 bends here. Let's bend for 3 and stretch. 2, maybe taking it a little deeper into that stretch. Now 1, micro bend in the knees, tuck the tailbone, roll all the way up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy. Circle the arms up. Let's cactus the arms, little back bend. Reach the arms up, dive forward, roll all the way down. 1 more time at the bottom. You're going to bend the legs 3 times. 3. Bend 2. Bend 1. Soft bend in the knees. Tuck your tailbone under. Roll your spine back up. Inhale the arms up. Little back bend. Reach the arms to the ceiling. Circle the arms. Take just gentle twists here. Allowing the arms to just sway side to side. Allow the head to follow the action of the spine. And then come back to center. Let's go ahead and reach your arms up on an inhale. Exhale, roll back down. From here, I want us to walk our hands out to a downward dog position. We're going to pedal out the feet. Lift one heel, lower the other. Lift and switch. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, pressing through the hands, 3, 2, on 1, bring both heels down, really drop your chest towards your thighs for me. I want us to walk our feet in just a little closer, lift onto the toes, shift forward so you're in that all fours position, untuck the toes. Inhale into your cow, exhale into your cat. Feel that head-tailbone connection. As you come into that cow, your head and tailbone reach towards each other. As you come into your cat, your head and tailbone reach towards each other. just in the opposite direction. Find your neutral spine. Lift your right foot up into tail wags. Wag the foot over to the right and then over to the left. Getting that lateral flexion of your spine. And then center, lower down, left foot lifts up. Wag the left foot side to side, getting that lateral flexion again. Feeling that movement through your pelvis. Back to center, lower down. Tuck your toes, hips up, back to that downward dog. From here, I want you to step your right foot forward in between your hands. We're in this lunge position here. I want you to straighten your right leg up and then come back into that lunge. Right leg straightens, you shift your weight back and you lower down. If you need to have 2 yoga blocks or some sort of pillows to help prop your hands up a little higher, feel free to do so. Let's lift up 3. Lift up 2. Last one, find that lunge position. I want you to come onto your fingertips. You're gonna start to reach your arms up to the ceiling. From here, we're gonna bend through our back knee, tap it towards the mat, and then lift back up. Tap your back knee down and lift. If you need to have the hands on the mat, that's also an option. Let's go for 3. Tap down 2. One more, tap, pause, untuck your toes, hands to your right thigh, lift up into that stretch. I want us to shift out of it, tuck your pelvis, shift into it. Breathing here, shift out of it, retuck your pelvis, shift forward. 2 more, shift out of it, retuck the pelvis, shift forward. 1 more, shift out of it, retuck the pelvis, shift forward, reach your left arm to the ceiling, side bend to the right. I want you to feel a lift up to the sky and then over to the right. Come back up to center, lower your left arm down, reach your right arm to the ceiling in that twist, breathe into the spine. Lower the right hand down, tuck your left toes under you, straighten that leg. Bring your right foot back to your downward dog, just breathe here for a second. Your left foot is going to step forward. Step your left foot into that lunge position. From here, just feel this long line reaching through that hip flexor on the right side. We're going to come into that straightening of your left leg. Shift your weight back as you straighten the leg, and then come back into the lunge. Shift back and lunge. Keep moving here. Every time you straighten that leg, you push a little deeper into that stretch. Let's lift for 4. Lift 3. 2. 1. Find your lunge. Come onto the fingertips. Press through your left foot as you come all the way up to this lunge position. We're going to tap your right knee down, lift the right knee up. Tap down and lift. As you're moving, you're pushing through this left glute and hamstring for support. Let's go 4. Tap 3. Tap 2. Lower 1. Untuck your toes. Bring your hands to your left thigh. Shift out of it. Just retuck your pelvis. Push forward. Shift out of it. Tuck your pelvis. Shift into it. Stretch through that right hip. Couple more like that. Shift out, retuck, stay lifted through the torso. 2 more out, tuck, shift forward. Last one, shift out, retuck, shift forward. Reach your right arm to the mat, left arm to the ceiling, take a stretch. From here, I want you to bring your hand down. Go ahead and bring your left knee down to the mat, and we're going to come to seated. I want us to find this position with our right foot bent in front of us, our left knee bent behind us in this 90 degree angle. Sitting up nice and tall, I want you to see if you can bring your hands into a prayer position. If you need, they can also be on the mat for support. We're gonna lift up this back leg. So your left leg is gonna lift and lower. My weight is shifted onto the right a little bit. I'm squeezing my left rotators, glutes here, to lift this thigh and knee off the mat. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that knee down. Grab onto your ankle for me. Right hand can be onto the mat. I just want you to shift forward and shift back a little bit. As we're shifting, we're getting this rotation of your thigh bone in your hip socket. So I don't want you to push too much from that kneecap, but I want you to feel the thigh bone rotating in the hip. Good. Let's just do a couple more like that. 1 more. Pause here. We're gonna just do a little bit of rotation here to the other side. So you're gonna rotate towards the left, right knee is down. Then you're gonna come up and over, back to the right. Again, if you need your hands onto the mat to do this, feel free to do so. But we're just finding this nice mobility here through our hips. And you'll notice you'll start to move on your mat a little bit. I'm sort of walking to the left corner of my mat almost. Let's do 1 more. Pause here. While we're at the left side of our mat, let's just swing the legs around and do the other side. We'll start with those lifts of your right leg down, hands to a prayer or on the mat. You're gonna lift that right leg up and lower it down. Feel that activation right from this hip. So push the whole knee and thigh off of the mat, find that hover, and then lower. You might also feel a little oblique activation here. Let's lift 3 more. Lift for 3. Lift for 2. And relax on 1. With your right hand, grab onto your right foot. Now we want this rotation of the thigh bone in the hip socket. So just start to lift that foot and lower. I don't want you to feel any strain or tension through the knee, but we're trying to rotate this thigh bone internally and then bring it back to its neutral. If you have a TheraBand, this is also a really nice exercise to do with your TheraBand hooked over your foot. And then you're actually getting that work as you push the foot down. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Relax that foot down. All right, we're gonna do our hip mobility work again. Hands to that prayer position. Go ahead and bring the legs up and over to the other side. And then back around to the front. Keep moving and we'll just slowly bring our way back towards the center of our mats. If you can, try to keep the torso upright as that added challenge here. We're in that deep hip flexion as we come around. And then go ahead and stop at the top. Bring your feet into a butterfly position. Our hips should feel a little bit more open. Hands to your ankles. Exhale as you round your spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale to round. Inhale to extend. 2 more. And lift. 1 more. Exhale, round. Inhale to lift. Come up to center. Just gently drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Slowly start to circle your head around. Loosening up that neck a little bit more. I want you to feel like there's a string attached to the crown of your head. Pulling the head in circles. Not only circling it around, but pulling the skull away from the top of the spine. Reverse that circle. So we're not compressing the neck, but we're actually creating space through the cervical spine as you reach out and around through the crown of the head. 1 more, nice and slow. all the way down to center. Restack the spine. Walk your arms forward for me here into a forward fold. Let the head relax. Let the spine decompress. Let the hips continue to open. Walking your hands over to that left diagonal. Breathe into the right side of the back. With our right hand, we're going to gently push onto your right thigh just a little bit. Release that hand, walk your hands over to the right corner. Breathe into the back of your left side. With that left hand, you're just going to gently push onto that left thigh. And then bring yourself back up to seated. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Cross your right leg over your left. Grab onto that right thigh as you take a twist over the right shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall. Send your breath into that lower back. Come back to center. Uncross that right foot, rest it onto your thigh. Arms to the ceiling. Take a reach up and over, relax at the bottom. With every exhale, you try to drop a little deeper towards the floor. And then you roll yourself up to seated. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Cross your left leg over. Hug that thigh into your chest as you twist over the left shoulder. Again, breathing into your lower back. Pulling that left thigh in tighter. Come back to center. Uncross that foot. Rest it onto your thigh. Arms to the ceiling. Big stretch up and over. Should be feeling a deep stretch through your left hip and also through your right hamstring. Bring yourself back up. Let's go ahead and uncross the legs. I want us to find a straddle position. So you're going to open the legs out to the corners of your mat. They can be open any amount, arms out to a T. We're going to reach over to the left and then over to the right. So we're just getting this side bend here from the obliques. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach over to the left. Reach up and over with that left arm, right arm to the mat. With your right elbow, you're pushing that right thigh out to the side, looking up towards that left elbow. Breathing into the left side body. Coming on up, reaching to the right. Reach up and over with that right arm. Thread the left arm underneath. Now with my left elbow, I'm pushing that left thigh open. I'm opening that right shoulder. And I'm reaching further towards my left toes. Come all the way up. Go ahead and bring your legs back to that butterfly position one more time. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Reach up and over into that stretch. Gently shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Find stillness. Roll yourself slowly back up to seated. And you guys are done for the day. Very nice work. Congratulations on completing week 1 I'll see you tomorrow. Back to our core.